Says elsewhere, first versus third. Yes, please, Durham McAntony in the Premier League tomorrow. Arsenal travel to Aston Villa. Villa have won 8 of their last 9 games in the Prem, but could they challenge Arsenal for the title? Mikel Arteta certainly thinks so.
For what they've been doing, the way they've been playing and winning his matches, certainly is a team that it's in great form, and we know that. We know obviously the manager and the incredible job that he's done there as well. So we know the task tomorrow, but we always take it as an opportunity.
Do you see Aston Villa as being a title challenger?
Well, if they continue, look where they are already. So if they continue what they've been doing, I think any club, any team in that position has chances for sure.
So Mikel Arteta, Darragh, like you, thinks that they can challenge for the title at Aston Villa. The narrative will certainly go that way, won't it? Also, with Unai Emery, former Arsenal boss.
A lot of needle there, yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's set up beautifully, isn't it? And Villa Park has been an absolute fortress for those Villa fans and those Villa players.
It's a free hit for Villa.
If they get 3 points, why are they not in that race, in the thick of the race?
Listen, you know, big club, great manager, world-class managers, won trophies. The pressure now... Arsenal have come through every challenge so far, bar when they played Liverpool earlier in the season. But every other challenge they've had come along, including Chelsea last week, where they weren't at their best, but they didn't lose the game. It will be interesting to see the dynamic. What happens if Villa give them that bloody nose, win the game, and where Arsenal go from there? Injuries are starting to happen. You know, all the doubts start setting in. And then all of a sudden you've got a wide open Premier League again going into Christmas. So December's a beautiful thing in our industry.
And look, they were the lowest spenders in the Premier League this summer.
They had to be because of the PSR, I believe.
Of course,
yeah.
but, and losing players they didn't want to lose.
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
£28 million they spent. And they still, I mean, look, I was at Brighton midweek. Hell of a game. 7 goals. Brighton were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Right? Finished 4-3.
Brighton are wonderful. We don't talk about them enough, how good they are.
Well, we haven't got time to talk about everyone,
yeah.
This is the thing on this show. But look, let me just read you the bench that Aston Villa had. You know, Lindelof, he doesn't play much these days, but Lindelof, Digne, Tielemans, Buendia, Daniel Marlon, who came on and scored with his first touch after seconds, Jadon Sancho, who didn't even get on the pitch. They've got a Champions League squad there, haven't they?
They've also got a world-class manager. I think it's a really well put-together football club. I think they've got a manager that when they had a really sticky start to the season, there was never any panic. There was never any doubts. There was no headlines like you're seeing now, say, about Slot or whatever else. And they had a really, really poor start to the season. And what that is a club that's obviously together on and off the pitch, and it's showing now as they've caught fire. So it wouldn't surprise me if they go deep on it. I don't think they can win the league, but stranger things have happened, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Ollie Watkins has obviously had a lot of criticism in the season because he's not been used to the numbers not going his way.
Yeah.
He got a double at Brighton.
He did.
And if Villa are where they are without Watkins banging in...
What do I say about class and form?
When he clicks.
Yeah, absolutely. Watkins is a top player. And again, if he goes on a run, and he tends to be that type of striker that when he gets hot, he stays hot for a period of time. So I think it's going to be an absolute... Listen, if Arsenal do Arsenal things and come out of that game with a clean sheet, with the amount of goals that Villa have been scoring, I'll even myself concede the title to them. Because I think this is their biggest challenge so far.
Yeah. And look, just to fast forward a little bit, and we're going to speak to an Arsenal fan in a minute, but no, Aston Villa, right? Arsenal at home this weekend. In the Premier League, West Ham away, okay, then they play Manchester United at home. But they play Arsenal again before the turn of the year on the 30th of December. Now
it's there.
It's there for the taking.
Yeah, it is.
These next few weeks are critical.
If you're a Villa player and that disappointment earlier on in the season, where you are right now in the training ground's paradise, everything's wonderful. You're now being talked about in a title race on Sky. A few months ago, you were talked about in a different light. That's the beauty about football. So for those players, it's a free hit, and you're thinking we're playing them twice in the space of 8 weeks. We can really put ourselves where we want to be. And the disappointment of not being in the Champions League this season, where you can forget that now and get yourself into a title challenge.
Well, and also, you know, I know it's become a cliche, but Thursday, Sunday football is difficult to manage, isn't it? To play
but with a squad the size they have, they can prioritise the Premier League and they can play the second string in the other European Cup games that they have. So, you know, for Aston Villa to be in this position, the other thing I'd say as well is that the higher they finish, better for PSR. They've had a tough couple of windows. You know, they've obviously got a good recruitment team, a good manager. If Villa can get to the summer and have been in a title challenge, they're allowed to spend again, and we know their owners want to spend, potentially a big club there.
Yeah, and look at the rise as well. We talk about, you know, from Dean Smith's days.
Yeah.
And I know the Villa fans will look back some of his time very fondly.
We beat them in the FA Cup not so long ago, a few years ago, 3-1.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce was the manager.
Yeah.
I was there that day. This is where Villa are now. We're now talking, I think, 7 years later, they're in a title challenge in the Premier League.
Even under the reign of Steven Gerrard, like where Emery has taken them to after coming in.
Absolutely, and the football and the stylistic, you compared to, say, Gerrard and the kind of football that was being served up you can't say enough positive things about Aston Villa. And not only that, they also have an amazing academy, terrific people behind the scenes with a lot of good young players.
Yeah. So equally, Arsenal fans will be looking at this, right, and going, well, hold on, we played them twice, we can put them out of sight.
100%. Listen, Arsenal are in the driver's seat. Right now, Arsenal fans have been waiting for this for years. They don't want any more false dawns. They don't want any more... I'm not going to say bottle jobs or choke jobs because that's unfair.
Not going to say it, but
you said that all fair. And I would say that's unfair. What Arsenal fans want to see now is put the foot down and put your foot on the neck.
So where is your doubt when it comes to Arsenal then?
My doubt is the last few years. But they're answering those doubts with they've got a better squad. They're investing in the right positions. They don't look weak anywhere. Yes, Declan Rice would be a problem if he was missing, but I don't think it would be catastrophic. They've got a manager who wants to be a world-class manager, wants to win trophies, hasn't won a trophy in a long time, so he's hungry, not desperate, but he has that desire and aggressiveness to win the title. It's now or never. It's now or never. As an Arsenal fan, I'm sure they'd agree with me. This is it now. We knew as Liverpool fans last year, that was a great title to win. With Man City having a weak moment, that was the time to win a title. For Arsenal, if they don't get it done this year, problems lay ahead.
Oh, what a time to bring in an Arsenal fan, because Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. And if you want to represent your club, scan the QR code, everybody. Visit the Sky Sports app for more details. And we can speak now to an Aston Villa supporter by the name of Mark Sproston and Arsenal fan Nick Karamanlis. Mark and Nick. Nick, I've got to come to you first, picking up on what Dara said there. If you don't get it done this season, big problems, quote, lie ahead. Nick, what do you make of that?
We will get it done. First of all, I think we will get it done this season. But I don't like this narrative of if we don't, then big problems in terms of what does that mean? Do we get rid of Arteta? I wouldn't want to.
Dara thinks yes.
Definitely not.
Go on, Dara.
No, I understand where you're coming from, Nick. Look, the reality is you've had a few false dawns. I don't know what the patience threshold's like for you as a fan, where, as a Liverpool fan, I was waiting 30 years for us to win a title again. So if I keep getting teased every single year, and it's like a false dawn, you're kind of like, we had it under Brendan Rodgers, and he got the sack. We should have won the title under Brendan Rodgers, and he lost his job. That led to us getting Klopp and actually winning the league title. So the question to you would be, if you get an 8-point lead or a 7-point lead, and you go into March or April, I'm not going to use the if word, but some things happen along the way that sees another club come in and steal the title, what's your thought process over the manager?
Well, everyone's going to be disappointed, aren't they? But you've got to also question the players then as well, because I think Arteta's done such a good job just restructuring the whole club. We've got the fans all together. He's got his squad now. I don't even want to think about dropping those points and not winning the league. I think we will. For the first time, I'm really confident. I haven't been the last few seasons, even though we've come second. This is the time I feel confident. And I don't even want to think about it. I really don't. But there's a lot of fans that will be calling for his head. I know Arsenal fans called for his head after the Sunderland draw. It's ridiculous. And patience is wearing thin. I get it. But what's the alternative? It took Alex Ferguson 7 years to win his first title. And look what happened after that.
How long's Arteta been there now?
It's 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
and he won the FA Cup early on. The Cronkies have backed him massively. They've spent hundreds of millions of pounds. I was very excited a couple of years ago with the model, that signing the younger players and the talent, whatever else. I just think, you don't want to waste that golden period for the talent you've got in the squad. So that's why I think it's now.
Let's just bring Mark in, because I don't want you sat there not saying anything, Mark. And look, Mikel Arteta talking about Aston Villa, saying that, why not? You're banging the title race. You will be, certainly, if you beat Arsenal. How confident are you, Mark?
Do you know what? I think before 2019, we had an awful record against Arsenal. We couldn't beat them in the backyard. We couldn't beat them there. Since we got promoted, it's looking a lot better. And I think it's almost 50-50. So I think tomorrow, based on our form, yes, Arsenal are doing really well. They've got the crazy away record at the moment, Arsenal have. But we're on a good momentum. We're on a good run. And I think tomorrow, we'll do Arsenal 2-1. And I think Ollie Watkins will be on the score sheet again.
Nick's
got his hands together.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Sounds like there's a bet coming on.
Nick, do you want to respond to that quickly before I ask Mark another question?
And listen, it's going to be a tricky game. I get it. There's a lot of talk about their run of form. But like you said earlier, we've overcome these tests in the past. I mean, there was a lot of talk about Spurs being hadn't lost away. And then look what we've done to them. Then there was talk about Chelsea being our closest title challengers, and now they're 9 points behind us a week later.
No, behave.
So, look,
Chelsea were very good against you and were down to 10 men. We all watched that game. Stevie Wonder could see that Chelsea with 11 men could have possibly beaten you.
Possibly, we'll never know. But listen, they're 9 points behind us now. It might be one of those seasons, I've said this before, like that Leicester season where if we keep our heads like they did, everyone else is losing theirs around because, they might get a result against us, but will they carry on that form throughout the season? I don't know. And listen, you've got to remember, forget their form, we're top of the league for a reason. Our form's not too bad either.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to be serious title challengers, you have to walk into those grounds and go in like they should be fearing us. That's how great teams have won the league in the past, going in with that confidence.
You've got to go to places like the Champions Ground at Anfield and win those games.
But look, Mark, on Aston Villa, I mean, it is incredible form. 8 wins in 9 games in the league. And as I said to Dara there, I was at Brighton midweek where you were 2-0 down, looked absolutely dreadful and found a way to win that game. And, there was another 10 minutes. You put 6 past Brighton the way it was going. Unai Emery was a laughing stock, wasn't he? He was a joke figure when he left Arsenal. Look at the turnaround of that man. Never sleep on Unai Emery, Mark. You know that better than anyone.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I've seen such a big turnaround in the first 6 games where we were awful. I was on Sky Sports a few weeks ago during that bad run, and I got lambasted by some of the Villa fans on X because I mentioned very quickly about the Paul Lambert days. Not the fact that there was a comparison between Unai and Paul Lambert. It was the unknown days where, we didn't know whether we were selling our best players. Unai looked a bit despondent. The board were coming out and saying there was rumours that they were getting fed up with the PSR and we couldn't spend any money. Bearing in mind they've got billions to spend anyway. So there was a lot of frustrations going on at Villa Park. And you could see that in Unai. And for the first 6 games, on the sidelines, he wasn't himself. He wasn't animated like he normally is. He was very quiet. You could see there was frustration in his face. But since the run, you can see now how animated he is. And he knows he can get the best out of those players. And bearing in mind, we've got the same squad. Bearing in mind, probably be 3 or 4 additional players that are playing regularly now that we've had for the last 4 years. So he's brilliant at getting the best out of players that seemed average at the time under Gerrard. And Dean Smith, but almost look, I would say, top 4, even top 2 could be tomorrow when we beat Arsenal in terms of how they look on the pitch.
Yeah.
At Old Trafford tonight. What does that mean for the table after match week 13? Well, this is the state of play in the Premier League. After match week 14, I apologise, Arsenal restore their lead at the top to 5 points. As Owen mentioned there, Man United missing that opportunity to go level on points with Chelsea. And just so close is the Premier League this season. It shows you the gap there. 5 points separating 4th from, as we'll see, 14th in the Premier League. Everton have moved up to 10th as well, into the top 10 now. As mentioned there, just that 5-point gap separating 4 from 14th. A big match week for Leeds, who have moved out of the relegation zone at the expense of West Ham. They joined in the bottom 3 in the drop zone by Burnley and Wolves, who are still looking for that first win of the season. So much to talk through. Down the tunnel, West Ham taking a moment to enjoy with their fans.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think for West Ham, it's not a place where you go and expect points. Do you know what I mean? So I thought Manchester United dominated large portions of the game, but I thought West Ham always posed a threat on the counter-attack. And I thought when Man United made changes, they made 5 of them, I just thought they lost a little bit of rhythm. That's half your team, especially in defensive positions in the midfield. And credit, West Ham, they pounced.
What do you think was key for West Ham in getting that equaliser?
I think just believing you could get something out of the game. I don't think they sort of went into a low block and just invited the pressure, even though they had long periods without the ball. I felt like they believed that they could get something out of the game. I thought that Bowen probably set it off really. He was the one that was quite positive every time he got the ball, and then they got what they deserved.
To be fair to Manchester United going to half-time, we said they were the better of the two sides, especially going forward. They had so many opportunities. No surprises then that they opened the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, they were the team kind of pushing. I thought West Ham had a couple of moments here and there, but I thought Man United, this is kind of what the game looks like. Good, comfortable possession. Dalot kind of gets into the box there, and it's a great touch. and a great finish. But I think when you see it from this wide angle here, they've got good possession. I think Dalla, when the wing-backs get high, it allows you to get bodies in the box. And I think West Ham, in the end, they just get overloaded. Everybody's man for them, 5v5, and then Dalla just pops in there. That creates the overload. Wan-Bissaka's not sure. Mavropanos is not sure. Everybody's marking man for man, but Dalla's free. And it's just great awareness to just go into the box. And that's why he's free, Jay, because everybody else is marking somebody. And fair play to him, though, Jay. It's a great touch and finish.
Yeah, the touch is obviously it's instinctive and that, but even from this angle there, I just don't understand how you can have so much space. The ball goes wide, defend the box. When it goes wide, defend the box. When it's in the box, defend the goal. And for him to get that much time there to touch and finish, like, if that was me, I'd be thinking, wow, have I got so... Yeah, I bet he can't believe his luck and the finish. Wan-Bissaka's got to try and block or get a little bit closer.
Yeah, he did really have a lot of time and space there, as you mentioned. Just a word for Ahmed, because he kind of starts it, and you've been talking about Manchester United wing-backs needing to get further up quicker.
Yeah, and I thought Ahmed did brilliant kind of... We saying when the wing-backs have done really well, they play really high and they get really aggressive, especially against a team like West Ham that only play one up. And if you've got three centre-backs, that means Ahmed can get really high. Yeah. And once they double up on him, that means there's space on the other side there. Okay, it takes a deflection. But I think it all stems from Ahmed being really positive, beating people 1v1. Nobody can stop him, I think, 1v1. So once he gets into that position, get bodies in the box and they get a bit lucky.
Right, let's look at the goal that does level things up, that makes it 1-1. It came 7 minutes from time for Sangutu Magasa. Here it is then, and you'll talk us through it.
Do you know what I have to say? It's an amazing goal, amazing finish. But Bowen does so well, you know, just getting the first contact at the near post. And Magasa, he just dropped to him and he's just reacted. But you know, when you see it from a different angle, he has to get it right into the corner.
Mazraoui does brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, you feel bad for him because he does well with that clearance.
Yeah, it does, unbelievable. And obviously, he can't get up, but still, you know, he still has to get it right in the corner by the post and that. And you know, when you see it from this angle, it's like the perfect finish.
So many corners now are scored from second phase. So about the first phase. So obviously, because Mazraoui doesn't get a good contact on that, do you need your teammates there, kind of in and around it? Everybody's kind of in the middle, but you probably needed one or two. You know, once that clearance came out, that they can maybe go and tackle or win that. But Magasa, I mean, what a moment for him. You know, first goal at Old Trafford. I mean, you would have dreamed of that as a young kid. I'm not sure what teams he watched, but I'm sure he would have dreamed of scoring there. And you saw his smile on his face, how happy he was. It was a big moment for him. But I just think they could have defended that a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely huge moment for him. We can actually hear